Now more than ever, Lowe's knows you don't just want a low price, you want the lowest price. And with our lowest price guarantee, you can count on us for competitive prices on all your home improvement projects. If you find a qualifying lower price somewhere else on the same item, we'll match it. Lowe's, we help, you save. Price match applies the same item, current price at qualifying retailers. Exclusions and terms apply. Learn how we'll match price at lowes.com/lowest price guarantee.
I can cast a spell, secrets you can tell. Mix a special brew, put fire inside of you. Anytime you feel danger or fear, and instantly I will appear.
I'm every woman, it's all in me. Anything you want done, baby, I'll do it naturally.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, ha, whoa, ha, ha, ha. Whoa, ha, whoa, ha, ha, ha. Whoa, ha, 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 ha. Whoa, ha, ha, whoa, ha, ha, ha. Whoa, ha, ha, whoa, ha, ha, ha. Whoa, ha, ha, whoa, ha. Whoa, ha, ha, ha. Whoa, ha, ha, ha.
Whoa, ha, whoa, ha, ha. Whoa, ha, ha, ha. Whoa, ha, ha, whoa, ha, ha, whoa, ha. Whoa, ha, ha, whoa, ha, ha.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Nothing building it into the song for us.
Yes. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Blackest Show About Nothing. It's Jade and XD. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey. Whew. Yes, we're back to being black.
Yeah.
Although last week you all had a time just as much as we did.
I knew they would. Nobody
was
can
asking,
resist.
Right. Niggas was asking, do you listen to Steely Dan? I was like, yes, the fuck we do.
Let me tell you also, okay, those were power ballads. But if you want us to get into some good yacht rock,
oh,
that ain't no problem.
Ain't no problem.
Okay, Ben will make a special appearance, on the episode, and we will have a great time in all of our brown leather jackets.
Mysteriously smelling like smoke and other substances.
Yeah, and wet.
Pectin. Yes. How was your week?
Oh, I had to parent this week. This week. I know. I've reached that interesting intersection where I've run into a staff member that I'm not banging with at Noah's school. And I'm really peeping how this lady is moving, but you have to also be careful because you want to make sure you don't put your child in, especially when you realize that an adult does not have integrity. And let's be clear, I'm not not my baby. I'm not that type of mother. Like, these little niggas can be up to everything. No, you can't put nothing past them. You know how I know?
No.
I was one of them little niggas. But I also, and I know kids' reactions. I know when they lying because they're scared. I know, I can see all of that. And in this particular situation, I can see that there is an adult who is not telling the truth. And and won't. And so, now I gotta aid my child in how to navigate untrustworthy people and untrustworthy adults, and it's pissing me off. it's pissing me off. So yeah, I had to be a good grown adult parent this week. I don't like when I have to do that.
Right. That's fair. That's a lot.
It's so much. It's so much, but there's so much going on in the world that it doesn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Because we are still in a genocide.
We sure are.
Now they tried to call for. I guess they're trying for a temporary ceasefire. for Ramadan. Like
where
what?
the U.S. abstained the vote. They didn't vote to end for the ceasefire. They just said, well, we just not going to vote.
The U.S. is a stain. Is a stain. Big Tuck said ain't a stain on it. Lots of stains on it. Like the U.S. is just aiding and abetting and has continued to aid and abet just the most inhumane things across across the globe. Honestly, when you all start hearing the words green tech, you need to be scared. You know why? Because they're like, yes, we want to live longer and we want to make sure we're taking care of this planet. No, y'all want to make sure you taking care of this country, because green tech grossly affects the Congo. Green tech means children and women going down into very dangerous tunnels to obtain the materials that you all need to operate this green tech. So like, we got to start really paying attention to the shit that these niggas are saying. You know what I'm saying? And as a nigga who likes to recycle and wants to save the planet, you know, you can get swept up in all of that, and you need to make sure that you're doing all your research, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, because it gets real evil, like in layers, in layers and layers and layers. So, you know, evil has not stopped this week. So I just, you know, we want to make sure we point that out. I had to be a parent. And then this is not funny, but I saw just before we started recording, I got an Apple News notification, and I didn't get to get into it. Let me see if, because just the headline was like, wait, hold on, news.
Oh, no.
Okay, wait, okay, because it should be right there, because it popped right up. No, not now, Apple News. Okay, wait, damn it. All right, I'm just going to tell you what I remember it saying. Fear for Gen Alpha. Is Gen Alpha doomed, essentially? They were like, all I saw was illiterate and feral. I have to go find the article. But that shit popped up and I was like, oh, come on now. I got a Gen Alpha kid. Like, stop. Stop.
Yeah.
Like,
I've read in the Atlantic that Gen Zers are the most depressed generation.
I believe that.
And I can't imagine what Gen Alpha is about to be.
Woo. I hope that they are like, you know how Gen X, and I know we're right at the border, but you know how Gen X earlier on, you know, they were deprived of many things. And so while we are the latchkey generation, they was like the original latchkey generation.
Oh, yeah, the Osiris's of this shit.
So what I'm hoping is the way that millennials were able to turn a few things from Gen X. Like Gen X had the benefit of being able to purchase homes. You know what I'm saying? Because they were affordable. You know, they could buy groceries. You know what I'm saying? Niggas were living paycheck to paycheck, but they were living. They were living. You know what I'm saying? Inside of a place with a roof. Millennials can't buy homes, but we were able to turn some things in some different ways. What I'm hoping is, with Gen Z being the most depressed generation, Gen Alpha comes and they're able to like redeem in some other kind of way.
Yeah, I hope so too. I hope there's got to be some light at the end of this dark, musty tunnel, you know? And hopefully they find it.
Yeah. Gen Z's the Daria generation, because Daria was sad. Daria was over it. And Daria was also intelligent. And I don't find Gen Z is smart. They're just, they've been exposed to too much, too soon, in big waves. It splashes in their face because of social media and whatnot. So they're contending against a lot mentally and emotionally. But them little niggas are also smart. And you know what else I respect about them? They don't give a fuck. Do you hear me? They don't give a fuck about none of these powers that be, and call them out on their shit. And I appreciate that. Now that makes me scared for the Gen Zers that are on the wrong side of things. But fuck them. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about all the ones that we know, and they, they quote unquote stand on business when it comes to politics and humanity. But they're sad, and it's not their fault. They're sad, and there's a reason for that. It's by design. Is what's happened. But how was your week?
Yeah.
How was your week?
It was my week was a lot. It was stressful work wise. But
yes, yeah.
working.
Yeah.
Let's say
Yeah.
But it was otherwise it was cool. I will say I have found myself agreeing with forces that I never thought I would. And this is about to sound real wild, so walk with me, because this is in relation to what you just said about depression and it's not their fault, right? So, I can't believe I'm about to publicly say this.
Oh no, you're not about to agree with Trump on something, are you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Kind of.
No.
Kind of. No.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you why, though.
Okay.
Just prepare. So, Florida passed a law the other day that, now I don't agree. I don't know how they're going to enforce it, whatever. But they passed a law the other day banning or restricting or putting or enforcing age limits for social media. So they put a ban on 14 and younger to having social media accounts. And like 15 to 17, it has to be like under parental supervision.
Okay.
Now, I agree with that wholeheartedly, because when it comes to, and I see it with like millennials too, right?
Mm-hmm.
People live for the gram.
Yes.
People live for do it for the vine. I ain't gonna do it. Like, you know what I mean? There comes to, people are disillusioned, or people don't live in a reality-based world, right?
Mm-hmm.
and so it causes detriment to like psyche and mental health. And I've been reading a lot about like teens and how they respond to like social media, and how like it's a equalizer, and if like they don't have access to it, they get bullied, and shit like that. And then I read this article in Cosmopolitan about, mommy bloggers or family vloggers, and how people are starting to divest from that because of the fact that they realize that these kids now who were grown up on YouTube, whatever, had no idea and didn't have any autonomy over that. Like this one girl talked about, like, girl, I was going through puberty on the internet.
Yep.
And that's fucking wild. You know what I mean? And having all these strangers comment on my body and my process and all that good stuff. So that made me really think, like, no, I do agree that there needs to be a limit. Like, kids need to be the fuck outside. People need to be outside. Like being chronically online. And yes, our business is via the internet, but I also understand that there could be ways to utilize the internet and means to, like, in addition to being outside and in the world and
it's about balance.
People. Yeah. So I was just like, I agree.
Yes, because okay, I do agree to an extent, right? Because with the age limit, because social media and what it's done to the psyche of the young people, like you said.
Hell, the grown folks too.
And the grown people. And the grown people. You're absolutely right. And so I feel like putting some parameters around that is helpful for the development. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, all right. Yeah. But also, kids been sneaking into rated R movies forever. They're going to figure it out. They're going to get to what they want to get to. And see, also, social media is the way that information is being shared. So on a surface level with us, we're like, yes, you know what I'm saying? Like, let the kids be kids. But also, I don't fully trust it, because I feel like it's a means to limit communication and limit information as well.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that either. Because my other stance was because I really sat and thought, and I was like,
I don't trust nothing they do.
this could go a bunch of ways, right? Because
Yep.
they already like how Instagram. Oh, friends, PSA: if you have Instagram, go into your settings and scroll down to content preferences. Do it now. Oh yeah. Now, Meta released an update on Instagram saying they're going to limit political content.
Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you're saying this.
And that is so vague.
Wait, limited. Wait, where is this?
Go to settings. It should be content preferences.
Content preferences.
Scroll down.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you see, it's probably automatically selected that it says limit your
wait, where is that
political.
under? Oh, political content. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Don't limit
You see, it was automatically checked. So content preferences, politics, and then click don't limit because it's such a vague thing. They talk about like, oh, we're going to limit posts that are regards to political and social commentary. I'm like, well, everything is fucking social commentary. This is a means to control information. You know, especially regarding this genocide and regarding, especially we have an election coming up.
Yeah.
That I'm sure that's going to be stolen again, like it was in 2016. And 2000, if you really want to talk about it. But I feel like not all of us are marching or the marching type, but what we can do is be judicious in what we share and what we consume and the information that we disseminate out into the world. And I feel like we need to be informed. Like someone, I was on Facebook, and I'm rarely on Facebook, and because it's Facebook. But I saw so much like misinformation, and I was like, you could just watch the news. Like, I know it's fucked up, right? I get it. Things are,
and all kinds of. They not reporting everything, but yeah. And continue. I'm sorry.
But it is good to be informed about the world, and you can form your own opinions about it. But have some general idea of what the fuck is going on, which would allow you to ask internal questions to find the truth to things
and cross-reference. You know what I'm saying?
And cross-reference, exactly. Like, for example, this week was hot down on NBC. Let me tell you. So
nothing but Caucasians. But continue.
Exactly. So NBC News hired the former chair of the Republican National Committee as a contributor. Now, MSNBC, all of their hosts cut promos and was like, hold on, wait a fucking minute. Now, why are you hiring the enemy? And so
enemies, they be fucking.
Exactly. And that's what Lawrence, I forget his name was, but they talk about like, you can't, his thing was like, you can't be that close to the criminal, you know? And so knowing this information, regardless of what you think about them, you know, it provides you structure and context of how you can think about how to consume this media. So if I knew, oh, this bitch or this person was a part of the crimes and agreed and drank the Kool-Aid of what Trump said, you know what I mean? Then how am I supposed to trust this as a news organization? You know what I mean? And like, I wouldn't know that if I didn't tune into the news. You know what I mean?
No, true. And then also, it allows me to cross-reference, right? Because you know, I may look at Al Jazeera and then somebody's like, well, Al Jazeera is biased information as well. Hold, please, because the news is showing one very specific aspect, backing up this whole they have a right to defend themselves situation with Israel. When you can say Al Jazeera is biased, but let me tell you what they can't do. They can't twist, turn, and manipulate footage of their people being obliterated and slaughtered. Okay.
Exactly.
In inhumane ways. Nobody photoshopped a picture of those soldiers holding up people's lingerie. Nobody photoshopped and made AI videos of soldiers saying, I'm going to take these shoes to my fiance for our wedding. Nobody photoshopped in people taking jewelry and stuff from people's house. Nobody is creating video game footage of them tracking people walking on the beach and blowing them the fuck up. Like, nobody is AIing a video of a 8-year-old child sitting there without a fucking limb. So you all can talk about how that news is biased, but you all don't want to call out what's really actually happening. You got white women with sun hats out of fucking New Jersey boldly saying, cannot wait to own my beachfront property in Gaza. What in the actual fuck?
Wow. Yeah. My point. This idea is cross-referenced, but also watch the news every once in a while. Get learned so you can find out and make opinions on your own accord.
I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
What else I was going to say? Peace to those in Baltimore.
Yes, the bridge.
The bridge. And also shout out to the mayor of Baltimore because, DEI is the new N-word now.
Yeah.
And now they're calling him the DEI mayor.
No, it's not the new. It's also like they hate it. It's like cunt.
Yeah. Which is so weird because, like when you talk about woke, it's literally wokeness is actually a conservative term when you think about it. It's this idea of questioning the government and trying to figure out what's true or what's not. Because a lot of hotepness is rooted in a lot of MAGA.
Yeah, it is.
So I don't know why they're conflating the two.
It's rooted in MAGA. Some of it is rooted in MAGA. Some of it is rooted in just straight up and down misogyny, which is a part of MAGA. It's never rooted in science. I can tell you that because
it's nothing in truth.
Grand Rising is not a replacement. Good Morning was not originally meant to. It was not mourning with the U. Nobody was sad. Nobody died. Like,
no, not
and
at
also
all.
Peace Queen, Peace King. Let's talk about peace for a hot second, right? Because I saw a beautiful clip earlier where they were talking about oppression. Right. And they were talking about colonized nations needing to be free, especially indigenous lands. We're talking Palestine. We're talking Puerto Rico. We're talking Congo. We're talking everywhere. Hawaii. We're talking everywhere that has been oppressed by colonizers and how that has played out in the effects of what's going on with people today. And he was like, listen, you could be on a plantation and it could be peaceful, right? But you're still enslaved. He was like, so it's not about peace. While everybody's hollering about peace, it's not about peace. It's about freedom.
Exactly. Exactly. It goes to my point. Slaves had fun, Jay.
And yes, they did. But also, I'm sure they would have liked to have fun free.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Freedom was at the top. That was S tier.
Like the Jubilee it don't mean a whole lot when I got to go to work the next day and I don't have a choice. I can't call out.
Exactly.
Like nothing. I would like to go to the Jubilee and sleep in the next day, but I don't have that choice. So
Exactly. Yeah, but that's what my week was. Oh, and lastly, what pissed me the fuck off this week.
What's that?
Do you know Dollar Tree has the raggedy fucking nerve?
I saw $7
nothing in Dollar Tree. A whole store is barely worth $7.
Why would I do that when there's a store called Five Below?
Which is the greatest store ever.
And let me tell you another thing. You know who's even greater?
I got these ropes, my jump ropes. Five Below. this wireless speaker, Five Below. This shirt I need to send to Noah, Five motherfucking Below.
And you know what's even greater than Five Below? If you can find it in your local area. I know you can and I can't, but this is for the people. Y'all got to find those Japanese dollar stores. I don't know what they're called.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But you got to go to the Japan village of wherever you live. And you got, where they got a food court with multiple delicious tempuras and ramens and all kinds of things. But then you got to find the Japanese dollar store winning. Okay. Cosmetics.
Yes. They got one in if you live in Arkansas, California, aka Sacramento, even there, they got one at the Delta Shores where the Sonic is.
See,
they got one because my mother was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to this Asian supermarket," and I was like,
"Oh yes,
okay." And I'm thinking H Mart because she told me like, "Oh, they're building an H Mart near me." I was like, "Oh, because I go to H Mart all the time.
H Mart,
fabulous place.
Yes,
sponsor best with vegetables."
like absolutely not.
Yeah, but we end up going to like this Japanese like dollar store, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
gagged.
I mean, hello.
Yeah,
all the soap. They've got
throw it in the bag.
They've got gadgets and gizmos aplenty. They got shit I didn't even know I needed. I was having a wang dang, and it was all because
I bought my mother a new whisk for 50 cents.
See?
I'm telling you.
See, I got good bath gloves. Like, nigga, I be getting the good shit. I be getting the good shit. Well, so let's pay some bills.
Oh yes. Quickly, everybody, thank you for listening. We're here every Friday. Also, today is Beyonce Day, so happy Beyonce Day to those who celebrate. I'm sure she's listening to this, so happy Beyonce Day to you.
Yes, we mean that.
Yeah. Yes, go down and join the Cult of Chaos at Patreon. It's $9.99. We have a Wang Dang Doodle. We're watching Mary Mary. We're watching The Hills.
Yeah.
We have a new show called the ABC Show, where this week we delved into American
propaganda,
drug propaganda.
Yeah.
Yes. And we talked about Puffy because I know a lot of you are like, "Oh, are you going to talk about this?"
No.
Behind a paywall.
Yeah, but also it was, I mean, we had a good time with it.
yeah, we did. We did. And join the YouTube channel. Stuff coming up there whenever 90 Day the Other Way comes back, as well as Love After Lockup. Also, check the description box wherever you're listening. There's great stuff in there. Also, special announcement. So on my Substack this week, I'm covering dating men, hetero men.
Oh.
I have my friends Alexis from the Rescue Experience and also Tracy May.
Yes!
And from Depression Nest. I've been getting into her new show on YouTube. It's so good. And she's talking about her depression journey. Her theme song is so funny. But anywho,
Tracy May, she's creative. She's hilarious.
Yes.
One of my favorite clips of hers. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
Mm-hmm.
She did like this filter where she was like a chipmunk or a raccoon or some sort of woodland creature. But she was singing Silk's Meeting in My Bedroom. And it...
That's so random.
That is one of my favorite. I'm sorry. Okay, continue.
But yes, go down to my Substack. Link is in the description. Also, congratulations to you, Jade and Kia. Happy anniversary for getting grown. Yes, you celebrated 7 years.
7 years, and we got some fun stuff coming up to celebrate those 7 years, so that y'all can celebrate with us. So, yeah, cross promotion, plug.
Yeah.
Also, make sure you all check out. Remember, a couple of episodes ago, I shouted out Infiniteam, a new Black-owned math club in Brooklyn. So if your babies need some fun math learning, and engagement with other young people. Yes, hit Infiniteam. All the information will be in the description box.
Yes. So let's take a break and we'll be back with flowers. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Fashion Fair reveals the beauty that is you. From fresh skincare to makeup for the perfect finish, Fashion Fair Cosmetics becomes you. With lasting colors and shades.
And we're back. We're giving folks flowers this week.
Yes.
People that deserve it. People that should be celebrated. Our unsung heroes and heroines and hero-theys.
Yeah. Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Some conventional, some not. I'll start off this week.
Okay.
I'm just gonna start off hot. This is somebody who first of all, I just discovered they're still living. Praise God. But because I was like, are we doing dead or alive? But I was like, it doesn't matter, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so
No.
she sings a type of music that I don't necessarily listen to at all. But for whatever reason, this week her music has been super peaceful to me. And that's Leontine Price.
Oh.
Right. So I'm not an opera girly.
Mm-mm.
I think opera is big time snooze fest.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fascinated because how you sing.
I know
like
it's
that,
a talent and it's a technique.
Oh, very much
that's,
so.
That's great. It's just not for your girl.
No.
You know.
Mm-mm.
But I love the fact that it's a black woman who also happens to be related to Whitney Houston, which makes so much sense.
Oh, no.
Yes. And like Mama held the Met down for 20 years. Just beautiful gowns. Like if you go on YouTube and like look at her performances, just like these beautiful gowns and costumes, and she's one of the few black girlies back in the day that didn't look ashy. Because if you remember back, Kids, you know, back in the day, we used to have magazines called Ebony and Jet.
Oh, yes.
And
covers.
Ebony used to have this fashion show called the Fashion Fair, fashion show. And when they would show pictures from it, the divas would look a little bit ashy, but that's just because we didn't have the tech.
Yeah.
We didn't have like Fenty or anything like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But she was one of the few black girlies that did not look ashy, and I appreciated that.
Not the few. Not the few. Everybody on Soul Train was moisturized for the most part.
But not necessarily they were ashy, but you remember like
there was no retouching. You know what I'm saying? Every now and again there's a crevice or something.
It's more like they didn't really have good makeup for black girls.
Oh,
or
yes.
Black people back then.
Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Because that leads me to my other person on my list. But like,
yeah, no, you're right.
Who was the other person that didn't look ashy back then?
Because Fashion Fair had a weird, like coffin tint to some of.
Yes, casket sharp. Yes.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My mother still tried it. My mother asked me like not too long, do they still make Fashion Fair makeup? I was like, God, I hope not.
I think they do. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, if they do, I hope they use it to like.
Oh honey, Fashion Fair. Fashion Fair is still in effect. Hold on, let's.
Do they sell it through Avon or something? Like, where do you find it?
Fashionfair.com. Oh, not them trying to have like a Fenty-esque type. Come on, Bat McGrath ask. Like, they said, let me upgrade you. Wait.
I just can't imagine. I can't, like, how many layers of the ozone layer are we destroying with every purchase of Fashion Fair? Because I know that has all the chlorofluorocarbons in it.
Wait, not them. Okay, hold on. New logo alert. Wait. Fashion Fair up their materials, you know what I'm saying? Like what the
Oh my gosh.
They said,
hold on, let me look.
Black owned, vegan, iconic formulas. Wait a minute, elevate. Okay,
Black owned beauty.
Yep.
Oh,
Melanin
okay.
majestic. Okay. Hold on.
Oh.
Let me
Okay, actually, I'm not mad at this.
I'm not either. I'm telling you, it's giving.
Do we need to buy it just to see what it gives?
You know, I should do a face with some Fashion Fair.
I could do a boy look. I'm not mad.
Yeah, and just kind of see what. Oh, come on, set it loose, powder. I told you every time. I just think about every time I think about Fashion Fair, I think about one of my best friends growing up, Keisha, and she had this grandma named Vera, and Vera was nuts and cheap. She would like take the four of us to McDonald's, and we'd have to share. We'd have to share an amount of food that 4 children should not have to share.
A 4-piece nugget.
But I will never. I will
2 nuggets, half a fry.
Right. Like, I'm gonna get y'all 1 large fry, 2 ice cream cones, and a cheeseburger.
Figure it out.
Cut it, split it in the back. So I don't know why you know when you have like random memories that stick in your mind. I will never forget. I was in her room, and she had a bathroom in her room, and and me and Keisha were in there, and she was in her bathroom, and Grandma Vera was like, she's like, I don't know why I have all this makeup on my floor. She was like, I don't put the Fashion Fair on my feet. And so every time I think about Fashion Fair, I think about Grandma Vera talking about she don't know why it's all over the floor because it was oily and because it stuck to everything under the sun.
Straight whale blubber.
Okay. You gotta clean it up off the floor with Murphy's and like vinegar. But shout out to y'all. I like your new branding.
Yeah, this is cute branding.
It's cute. The little F's crossing over, giving Fenty.
Yeah, giving or Fendi or whatever.
Yeah.
What is this fabulous serum? Okay.
$39.
Yeah. I know, which I will say is makeup is so fucking expensive. Skincare is so expensive.
We need to do an episode.
Because
actually, I don't want to do that because it's going to sound elitist and disgusting. And I'm just... You know, and I recognize my privilege in certain ways, you know, but skincare is expensive. We'll say that. We do need to give them the kitchen appliance episode, though. A couple have asked for that.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's fair.
First up on my list, you know, it's an older lady that we all know and have loved. She's either been on one or many episodes of so many of the sitcoms that those in our generation grew up on. And her, you know, she started off in 1978. You know what I'm saying? So mama's been working. She was in Family Matters. She was in Cheers. She was in A Different World, The Sinbad Show, The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air in a couple episodes, Jamie Foxx Show, Wayans Brothers. But we all know and love her as Miss Jerry Gray.
Miss Jerry, what are you doing here?
I'm on my way to Atlantic City to find me a high roller. But what about that sandwich?
You want a little bit of this, huh? You want you a little bit of this sandwich, don't you, Miss?
So that Miss Jerry or Martin, Jerry Gray, she deserves her flowers because she's one of those. It's like you always know who she is every time she pops up on the screen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that they used her real name.
They used her. So Miss Jerry was Gerry, but she is Jerry, Jeri.
Jerry. Wow.
Yep. Miss Jerry deserves her flowers. We can feel how we feel about Martin in a present era, but there's certain elements that will just always live, and Miss Jerry is one of those. Hustleman's another one.
And that tuna sandwich and then bag of nickels.
Hello. So yes, Miss Jerry, Jerry Grants. She's first on my list.
Okay. I see it.
Mm-hmm.
The next person I have is, this might be a little deep.
Okay.
But I feel like we all owe her an apology. Not we all, but like collective society owes her an apology because of the shit that she had to endure, and she became the butt of a lot of jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But Robin Givens.
Hello.
Oh, you finally decided to show up.
I had some meetings that ran over, so I had to take a later flight.
So like, and I think about where she is like career wise now. Like she does like all black stuff or like YouTube stuff.
Yes.
Like she's like she gives back and work. And I don't know if this is because she needs a check or she's genuinely invested in the success of other people that might not necessarily hold on. Okay. Well, no, let me finish this because that's rude.
Okay.
But like I realized like when we watch things like over the 90s and stuff, like when we were talking about how Nippy endured all the crack jokes and all this good stuff and blah blah blah. Like Mama had to endure DV jokes and then see her career stifled and while this nigga was on the rise, and I'm sure Mike Tyson has done the work, and I mean we also know that he's not wrapped too tight up here, but
no, the CTE has spread.
Yes, and also hood nigga from Brooklyn and all that trauma that comes with it. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
So I was thinking, and I was like, you know what? She deserves the reckoning, like a resurgence in her career. Like when I think of like Erica Alexander, who's also on my list, and who has and I love the way Erica Alexander speaks, and I hope she writes a book one day and all that good stuff. But I think about like there's these blackstresses who deserve this resurgence in their career because they've given us so much, and they all had to get subjugated by bullshit or subjected to bullshit from the niggas that are in Hollywood that are gross and evil and disgusting.
I agree. And this might be this brave.
Okay.
But Robin Givens should actually be. Robin Givens is famous. Robin Givens is definitely black famous for sure. And Robin Givens been working a long, long time. I haven't seen her in a lot of things as of recently. But based off of what you're saying about the way that she gives back to black women, the way that she shows up for black women, she should be where Vivica Fox is, who is also black famous. But like, how we see Vivica Fox a little more frequently. I say that because Vivica Fox don't even have the right attitude about unifying with black women. And while I agree with little that Taraji has to say, I root for you, sister, but goddamn, you be saying some shit sometimes. And I still haven't forgotten that. I still haven't forgotten that one thing. But at least she's speaking about unifying black women and making sure black women get their just due and so forth and so on. Vivica's hateful, nasty ass got on that fucking microphone talking about I'm good. So I feel like Robin Givens should be in the place where Vivica is right now. She deserves to be in that. So I'd rather see her up on the what's the show? 5 bitches on the computer. I'd rather see Robin Givens on that than Vivica.
Every time you call it that, it's so funny because it's so true.
That's what it is.
And I'm glad you brought that up because this is what I was going to interject with. Shout out to the Agents of Chaos who discovered that Tubi is a subsidiary of Fox.
You see how they try to infiltrate?
Which explains that they give this platform to niggas who are just
harmful,
putting out all that outlaw, ridiculous content on
Chris
there.
Stokes.
Yes, which brings me to my next point.
Okay.
So I always laugh when I listen to like Jim Cornette and Brian Last. And this is a white wrestling program, and one of their major ads are for Raycon.
Mm-hmm.
And I laugh because I'm like, it's Ray J's company.
Every time. I just can't get that out of my mind.
Yeah. But you know, he sold it for $75 million and started a reality TV company.
Oh, he's trying to battle Zeus?
It's worse than Zeus.
No, that's not a possibility. That's not a possibility.
The only redeeming quality it has is that one of the programs on there is trans-led and ran.
Okay, good.
Or queer and trans-led and ran.
Okay.
Black, queer, and I need to be specific in that. So that's the only grace I will give him because his verbiage around queer issues is rough. But he's also like, shout out to the gays, shout out to the trans people. He's for us in that regard.
He does his best.
Yes,
okay.
I get it, but he's also still a nigga from Carson.
He's got some learning to do, but he tries his best. Okay.
They have a show with Safari. They have a show. It's just they have one of the scenes from the previews from the show. You know how on Zeus is baddies east and baddies west. They just fight in like the middle of a Dollar General or something. These niggas are shooting at each other with guns.
Wait, what?
Yes, go to Tronics.
No, I don't even like how that sounds.
I don't either. But like in the preview for the reel of what's to happen,
the show is called Tronics.
The network is called Tronics.
Tronics. Okay.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Let me talk, because I screenshot everything.
Go through a divorce and all legally separated, so it's a tough question to ask.
I don't care about
it. Sounds like he bought it and he has yet to rename it or whatever, which he needs to rebrand it because it sounds awful.
Yeah.
But no, he needs to this is the worst shit ever. It is hot garbage and cheese. Like, it is disgusting. What happened to I love reality TV. Mm-hmm. I think it's the purest form of television and not at the same time. Mm-hmm. But golly, guys. And I'm also not one of them uppity Negroes who are like, well, we need to preserve what Negro blah blah, because I'm still mad about sorority sisters and y'all getting that canceled because y'all uppity Negroes had a little tiff about it because of letters or whatever the fuck. I don't give a goddamn. That still pisses me off. But you can't have just niggas out here shooting each other on television.
No, absolutely not.
Like,
no.
that's just not something.
And I've never watched an episode of Baddies in my life.
Me
I might have watched 5 minutes because of Dustin, but
when Asante came over and he was like, "You have to watch this," and I was like,
I feel like it makes his teeth white to expose me to the most egregious of nigga shit. But I did see that story where Natalie Chin and other Cocaine Bear Tammy, what's her face? Tommy, Spider Monkey. That's what she.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I will never forget the way that she jumped on that nigga's back.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, they were not allowed.
Like a raptor in Jurassic Park.
Exactly. That's exactly how she jumped out. That scene lives in my spirit. But and also she didn't need to do all that stuff to her face. She's such a pretty girl. She
was such a pretty girl.
Didn't
Now
be
she
doing
looks
all that.
she looks like a Pontiac Aztec.
Right? I don't even care that you pose with the ankle bracelets on or whatever you do. You know what I'm saying? That's not even. You didn't have to do all that to your face, girl. But anyway. I saw that they were declined entry into a black-owned restaurant. And I said, that's right. They said, don't you bring that nigga shit in here. And I love that the restaurant was black-owned. And they were like, okay. Again, not all of you all. This cookout is canceled because
ain't no cookout.
Ain't no cookout. Half of you, a majority of you niggas are not welcome.
And the ones that would be are insistent on bringing your white wife. So
and she can't come. I'm sorry. You may not bring your white wife. Okay, this is an Africans only picnic.
Hello.
Shall I add him to the list? No, I shouldn't.
No.
No. I look at that nigga in jest only. I think.
Yes.
Ooh. Anyway.
We need to take a break. Mind you, we only got through 2 people.
Exactly. I have a list. We're not going to get through that this episode. Because I got one to share with you that I feel like it's going to take us down a lane. But anyway.
Oh my gosh.
Let's take a break.
Let's take a break.
Yeah.
Yes. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Bad in one day. So what we do is they can come in and get carry out. They can come in and dine. They can bring their family. And it's just one price, and everything's included.
All right, so talk about some of the healthy options that you have. You know, if you don't want to make a salad at home, what can you get one piece?
And we're back. Giving people flowers and burying others that don't deserve them.
Or giving them twigs. Be like, you did one thing before.
Yes. Lump of coal for you.
Who's next? Is it me or you?
It's me.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, since we're out here, this is for a group of people. It's giving flowers to the gays that work at Chick-fil-A.
Oh.
Because let me tell you something, right? As hateful as Chick-fil-A is, they donate to anti-gay shit and all that good stuff. But I often think about the young butch queen who is trying to get their life together. You know, they working it out with their case manager down at whatever local community center, and they with their vocational coach or whatever the fuck, and they're doing their damnedest to keep food on their table and stuff like that. And I get the optics, right? But Chick-fil-A be hiring the sissies, and the sissies be working at Chick-fil-A.
It's really, it's almost like a Robin Hood. I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah, it is. And so I recognize that we all have worked for companies that are inherently evil. And of course, everything that's a billionaire company is at some point evil or whatever the fuck, right?
Yes.
If not the company, some of the people that may run it, right?
Yeah.
So I can't be punitive for the people that are trying to earn a decent living and to like pay and keep a roof over their heads. And it's hard to get hired as, as a gay sometimes. You know what I mean? Like based on appearance or outward presentation, right? But from my experience, like the gays be working at Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, no, they do.
And I'm not saying if I eat there or not, but what I will say, when I have frequented there, they they do be there, and I'd be like, you know what? Shout out to Employment Queen. I see you. You know, we out here getting this bread. My DEI. You know what I mean?
There was this is a few years ago, but there was at the location in the financial district. There was a young royalty who worked there, and and their name was something along the lines of like yours in Christ or something faith. It was like a saying, but a name, and it was something extremely churchy. And when I tell you, Papa was on it, okay, and nobody was missing a sauce, and nobody was missing anything from their order. Now what you just said, the only thing that is a loophole for me. I do not agree with that with black cops. Okay, stop doing that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. No.
Yeah, no.
I only give one pass at a time. Like,
and it ain't that.
It's not.
And it ain't never gonna be that, honestly.
That's never going to be on my pardon list.
No.
Because that's an active choice. That's not survival.
Yeah, exactly that. Because there's too many other ways to survive.
Yeah, they could work at Chick-fil-A.
Okay, say it with me, people. Listen to me. If you're thinking about it, the young people, because I know sometimes your hearts and your minds be in the right place, but I need this to ring in your ears. You're never going to change the system from the inside of the fucking police department. Let's just be clear. It's not happening. It's rooted in slavery and evil. You're not going to do it. It's the corrupt system altogether. And you just don't have that power, beloved.
You're never going to be Mike Lowry.
Ever.
Never.
Ever. You're not going to do it.
You're not going to be a member of the bad boy clan.
No.
Like, it's not even in politics when people are like, I'm going to change it from the inside.
You're not.
No.
Because now even AOC can't call the damn thing a genocide.
No. Unless if you're Eric Mays, rest in peace, who held them.
Feet to the fire. Feet to
rest
the
in
fire.
peace.
Okay? Flowers that are deserved.
Yes. But your turn. I am.
This young lady, this woman at this point, has been on our screens for years and has a wide range of things that she's worked on. One of the very first being Walker, Texas Ranger.
So I definitely know she's been on my television.
Oh, she's been on your television.
Loved a Chuck Norris program.
Same. Okay. Same for a period of time, and I don't know why.
I don't know either, but that and Jag, which I don't get that
my
either.
grandparents were Perry Mason.
Well, it always the block because Jag came on before Walker. And so my grandmother didn't want to miss Walker. So we had to make sure we watched Jag. Because, black people, older people in general, you have to do everything at least an hour or two before it comes on. And it's like, I can make sure you get there on time. But no, I don't want to miss it. I don't. Okay. All right.
See, also MASH.
Yes.
Yes. But yes, this young lady has been on Walker, Texas Ranger, Friends. So I know she has been on your TV screen. And remember, I said it's a wide range. So we go from Walker, Texas Ranger to Friends to Smart Guy to Sister to Family Matters to Lizzie McGuire to Moesha and the Parkers to her own show 101 and also doing the lead voice of a black cartoon, The Proud Family. I'm talking about Miss Kyla Pratt.
I'm Kyla Pratt, voice of Penny Proud on the Proud Family. Good morning, parents. It is very exciting seeing the cartoon and hearing my voice. I'm Penny Proud. I'm cute and I'm loud and I got it going on. She's more like an average 14-year-old girl. If I were to describe Penny Proud, I would have to say
Yeah. She was on Living Single.
Living Single, Dr.
I'm
Dolittle.
trying, what episode of Friends was she on?
Oh, let's see. I can tell you.
It had to be.
Hold on, I'll tell you. Because they tell you which episode it is.
I know, and I've seen every episode of Friends, so I'm trying to figure out where.
Okay, let's see. She was on LA Hair. Friends. She was
talking to you
Charla Nichols episode, the one where Rachel quits.
Huh. I don't know. I have to go visit that. Does it tell you what season that is?
Hold on. No.
The one where Rachel quits. I feel like that's.
It's in 1996 though. So whatever season was in 96.
That's season 2 or season 3.
She was on that episode.
Because Friends started in 94. Okay, wow. Yes, Kyla Pratt. Who her daughter looks exactly like her. It's very strange. Like spitting image. I almost thought it was like AI. And I was like, whoa. But yes, Kyla Pratt has been on my TV forever. She's like almost like Raven, right? Like this whole idea of just being a teen actress or a child actress, very black, but also the versatility, the range. Has she been subjected to a Tyler Perry anything? No, right?
I would be surprised, but let's see. I don't think. Let's see. Parenthood. Okay, let's go to filmography. Anything with Tyler Perry.
Because his name is in the front of everything, so it's easy to find. It's always Tyler Perry Presents.
Oh, no, I'm not seeing I'm not seeing anything.
Woo, okay.
And she's doing voice work as well because she did The Addams Family 2, Volcano Kid, Book Girl, Festival Kid #1, and Peggy.
I really want to get into voice. I met with somebody who has like voice acting and voice coaching and stuff like that, and I got a whole bunch of information. I said I was going to work on that this year. And hopefully I get to be the voice of a cartoon one day. Like I
because
think that'd be
I want to be. I just want to like it could be for a few seconds. I want to voice a character on Bob's Burgers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be I want to be a voice actor or do like voiceovers for commercials. I think that would be fun because I think often about, especially since I've been watching Quiet on Set. Hollywood is just a lot, and I feel like I could be effective just with my voice. You know what I mean? Like I can you know. I could paint a tapestry with my vocals.
And I could do that in what? Sweatpants. It's crazy. So.
Exactly. I don't got to be on nobody's red carpet. They don't even need to know who I be. I also, or like being a voiceover in a video game. Like imagine like you a voice in like GTA. Like that would be iconic. You know?
Nico, it's Roman. Let's go bowling.
Okay, man. We go bowling. I come to get you in the next hour.
Okay, man. I will see you soon
So,
then.
but
what would I say?
Yeah. So my next person is well, since based on what I said, it's a duo.
Okay.
Del and Helen Johnson.
The sound of a big juicy steak.
We've got a big, juicier, more tender than ever.
Sounds good. The sound of a sizzle. I just can't wait.
And 3 new ways to love it.
Sounds good.
We've taken a great steak and topped it with thin, crispy.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of them?
Yes.
They're a husband and wife duo. They're the inventors of Sizzler. And I don't give a damn what anybody says. Sizzler is the greatest restaurant of all time.
In your eyes.
Listen, they revolutionized the salad bar. They revolutionized what it is to get 2 main courses for under $15.
Nah, rest in peace, salad bars.
They Americanized chicken cordon bleu, which is now Malibu chicken. They Americanized it. Fuck that freedom fries, nigga. Like, ain't no French here. Like, I just think, and they also helped usher in.
MAGA.
Yeah.
They're definitely MAGA. Thank God.
But where can I find a steak and chicken platter for $17.99?
Chili's. No, not even there.
Not even there.
Even there.
No.
I don't know.
Not at all. I could get a New York strip for $12.
I do want you to loose yourself from the salad bar, though.
Well, I don't eat there now.
Okay.
Like I can't. The last time I physically went into a Sizzler happened to be in the 1900s. Like, I can't tell you.
Okay. I feel like there's a Sizzler in Queens if it's even still open.
There used to be across from
Trader Joe,
like
Metropolitan.
the Panera.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where the Trader Joe's is. But yeah, because there's one by my house I could order from.
Yes.
You know, there's 2 actually by my house.
2 of them.
Yeah,
wow.
I know. I am wealth, privilege, blessings.
Yeah, MAGA blessings rained down. But we do.
That's fine.
While the 90s were, a wild time, and salad bars reigned supreme. And let me tell you something. I've had my fill, probably, of other people's sneezes more than I would care to think about, because
it boosted our own immune system.
My grandma, and that is why millennials are so resilient. But anyway, my grandma loved a salad bar. Okay, my grandma loved a salad bar.
My grandmother loved a salad bar.
Oh, when I would visit her, she would take us to this place called Super Salad. And it was an array of
gosh. It was like a whole arena, an arena of soup and salad.
Hold on. Wait. This was one of the most joyful parts of visiting my grandmother. So let me explain Super Salad to you for a second. Because it was this long ass salad bar that had everything that you could want to put, obviously very unhealthy things as well, that you could put on your salad, all the fruits, always fresh watermelon and now granted,
several
probably
different types of croutons.
Yes, nigga, like it was an array. Okay. Now, they had soft serve ice cream machines in the space. So once you was done with the salad, then they would have like 6 to 8 soups. Just now, granted, this is probably much better in my mind and in my nostalgia and my memory than it actually was. But as a kid visiting my grandma, I was like, this is heaven. And so it was all the soup. I have all the soups I want, all the salad. And, my grandma was very like, eat until you bust, which is very unhealthy because I'm not feeding you all later. So
yeah, that's
then you get ice cream. From exactly, which is why more Black people have eating disorders than we care to acknowledge. But
big time.
Then there was the soft serve ice cream. You get a swirl, you get a vanilla, you get a chocolate. They had chocolate pudding with crumbles of Oreo in it, or you'd get another kind with strawberries. Nigga, it was an oasis. And then the people walk around and give you refills of giant cups of sweet tea or soda or whatever it is they had.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We used to have something similar in California. They call it fresh tomatoes, and in LA, they call it, wait for it, soup plantation.
All right. You all find a way to ruin. You ruined soup and salad. That is crazy. How do you find a way to ruin everything good?
But outside of the name, it was this same concept. But that's also where I remember I developed my aversion to baby corn. Because my grandmother loved a baby corn, and I always like that's weird. But my grandmother also liked, other parts of like animals, like chicken feet.
Right.
And I always was like, baby corn looked like chicken feet. So I just assumed
like
that she had
proposing.
chicken. Yeah. Someone asked us to address why we feel that women proposing is bad.
I would like to put together a proper presentation for you. We could do that in a separate episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get my science hat on.
Yeah. The long and short of it is ill.
Yeah, get up. That's why.
Yeah. Like.
You ever seen them pie charts? You know what I'm saying? And it's like the teeniest sliver of whatever that,
Mm-hmm.
That is the amount of niggas in this world who deserve to be proposed to.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, 9.5 out of 10 times, it is not a nigga who deserves to be proposed to.
No, never.
Look at their history. No, that's not everybody, which is why there's a sliver. But
yeah, yes,
no. But the general consensus is get up.
Exactly.
Menstrual.
Yes. What's your on your list?
Is it me next? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh. I want to okay. So, not we all, but Crooklyn has a special place in our hearts, right? It's one of
because apparently RuPaul did not huff.
Because RuPaul was not huffing markers or whatever the fuck you said.
Huffing paint.
Shit, she wasn't doing that either. She was dancing with the nigga in the bodega. It was Spike Lee and the nigga with the nub who were huffing glue on the stoop.
And I had to go, after we talked about this yesterday, I had to go watch it. And I was like, yes, okay, you're right.
Your brain just scrambled up all the details. It's fine.
I just knew Rudith was in it. That's all.
But one of the most popular and also my favorite scenes from the movie is when Troy went down south to go visit her family. And, she was with her super evangelical Christian aunt and uncle. And her aunt was a piece of fucking work, obsessed with her dog by the name of Queenie. And remember, Queenie got stuck in the pull-out sofa and died. And Auntie had a full meltdown. Queenie! The whole scene, right? One of the greatest scenes. The little twins that look like they should be standing at the end of a hallway were smiling.
Oh, that's my baby! Queenie!
It is one of the greatest scenes.
The twins are evil, yes.
That aunt also was in. Now this may be a foreign concept to our younger listeners, but our listeners our age and above. There was a show that I think we like to reminisce on it being better than it actually was, but it still has some gems, by the name of Good Times. And there was a episode that also lives rent-free in my mind, as the young people say, featuring the same auntie who was in Crooklyn. And that lady's name is Frances Foster. And that episode of Good Times was the episode where the Evans discovered that their neighbor was eating dog food.
Yes. And
that,
yes.
And that auntie from Crooklyn, Frances Foster, is the same neighbor who was eating dog food.
Michael, you shouldn't have taken money from Ms. Vincent. That poor woman don't know where her next meal is coming from.
If things are that bad, Mama, why'd she buy a dog?
She ain't got no dog.
Then how come her garbage was loaded with empty dog food cans?
Gertie's garbage loaded with empty.
Now, young people, this episode is so problematic, but it is.
It is so bad. You should ask Crystal about this episode because she and I have talked about watching every episode of Good Times, and she every time she'd be like, "No, just ask her about it."
I'll give you all a very quick synopsis. Young Michael Evans comes home to their 2-bedroom apartment for a family of 5 because they was living in the projects and life was hard, as they sung about for multiple bars in the intro song. But anyway, so young Michael Evans comes home and he tells his mother, the neighbor leaves, they have a good little chat and so forth and so on. And then when she leaves, Michael lets it slip out that he asks, well, when did Mrs. Such and Such get a dog? And they're like, she don't have no dog. She don't even have no money. We just offered for her to teach singing lessons to Thelma, and she turned them down because of Social Security and blah, 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 blah. And it also shows you how fucked up our government is because they weren't. Anyway, so
they were like, caused their rent to go up.
Exactly. And her money, and the government took like $2 for every $1 she made, or took $1 for every $2 she made, or something along those lines. Anyway. So they're like, she can't afford no dog. He's like, well, she just paid me to take her trash out. It was mad dog cans in there. And they were like, oh, Lord, she's eating dog food. So now they trying to scheme, plot, and plan how to get Miss Mamas back to the crib for dinner so she doesn't have to eat Alpo tonight. And they're like, we're going to lie and say it's JJ's birthday. So they invite her down for dinner. And she says, well, y'all can't keep inviting me over for dinner and to celebrate these monumental family events without me contributing. I brought a lasagna.
Yes. Yes.
And they are passing this lasagna around like hot fucking potato. Okay. And nobody wants to eat it. They're like, ladies first. They're like, mothers eat before kids. It's JJ's birthday. They are passing this shit around because they think it's a lasagna made of dog food. And then, they have the heartwarming moment at the end. She's like, do you think I would serve dog food to my friends?
Yes, bitch.
It's really fucked up. It wasn't dog food.
I know it wasn't dog food.
And she said it really casually in the episode. She was like, I eat dog food sometimes. Yes, I do, because of the state of the government and da-da-da-da-da. But I would never serve dog food to my friends. And I know the point of the episode was to show how fucked up the government is. It is problematic, I told you. You must go look up the episode with Francis Foster as the neighbor who was eating dog food on Good Times. It's free on Amazon Prime.
Yes. And they have a Good Times channel on Pluto. So
one day we're gonna watch it on Patreon.
Yeah. But let's take a break and we'll be back with more or less dog food. Hit it, Claude.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Oh, no, Malone!
Where do I sit? Yeah, right. Oh, this is not Florida's meatloaf tonight. I brought it down and made it myself. Bon appetit, y'all.
And we're back, talking about flowers, giving them where they're due and feeding people dog food that don't deserve them.
They're feeding themselves, just to FYI.
Speaking of dog food, the next person on my list is, and I don't think I have mentioned white people on here, the people like at Sizzler. But Halston, the fashion designer Halston.
Yes, yeah.
That's the way fashion is made, not through the press, not through designers or anything else. It's made through people.
I think now they're recognizing that he single-handedly changed American fashion.
I've always had a big known clientele on all different levels.
And the reason why is because he gave us casual separates, and he helped making Jackie O look a little less like she bites people.
Not by much.
I know, but he designed a lot of things for her and made her, look less,
Yes,
canine.
because they do be giving her icon status. The girls like to give it to icon status,
and that's just because of fashion, not because
it's because of fashion.
Gang, gang, gang. Like.
Oh, Jackie O.
Yeah.
Enemies.
Yeah.
Okay, Halston, creator of Casual Separates.
He was the first major designer to take his ready-to-wear line and bring it affordable. And he sold Halston and JCPenney, which also caused him to go bankrupt. However, fast forward to the 90s, and you have all these other people starting it, like Isaac Mizrahi, Vera Wang, Michael Kors, Masani, Massimo.
Yep.
Remember when Massimo took over Target in 1999?
Yes, absolutely. We'll never forget.
I had a wonderful pleather coat from them.
Do you know how many sweater coats I had from Massimo?
Straight
it was
from
a
Target.
time. It was a time. Okay, Halston. Okay, cool. Where are they now?
Dead.
Oh, okay. I guess you're right. I guess if they introduce something into JCPenney, they got to be dead by now, huh?
Yeah, Halston died in the 80s or 90s from AIDS, complication of AIDS.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just processing. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah.
Who created Casual Corner? I wonder. What happened to them? Who's next on my list? Who do I want to bring up? Oh, okay. All right. This older Black woman is one that we of a generation recognize, and we rarely know her name. Well, I didn't, but she played very substantial roles at times. One of them being Elvin's mother on The Cosby Show. It was Elvin's mother? Yeah. She was also in the Preacher's Wife. Remember that show City Guys? She was in City Guys
with Wesley Jordan.
And a role that also, rings from when we were
or Jonathan,
the days of youth, Jamal's grandmother on Ghostwriter. And that would be Marcella Lowry.
Grandma,
Yeah, sugar.
do you believe in ghosts?
Well, I hope you're not planning on leaving me here by myself with that question. No, I don't. Unless they're the good, friendly kind that live in memories.
Season 3 of Serial.
Oh, hark! We're getting another season of Serial.
What they talking about?
I don't know. Sarah came on the track the other day and was like, "Hey, I'm back.
Bueno.
I'm dropping a trailer in a couple weeks." She said, "I've been working on this for like 10 years." So, yeah, I enjoyed season 3. Season 2, absolutely not. And of course, season 1, where we're all enthralled with it, right? But yeah, she coming back with season 4 of actual Serial. So I can't wait to see what that gives.
Yeah, we might need to cover a podcast covering a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inception.
It's like Inception. And what is anyway. Who's next on your list?
I'm sure she's getting her flowers now, but the Queen of Brooklyn, that you can't go anywhere like within 2 blocks
Big Sur
in Brooklyn without seeing her name
Big
on a building. Big Chisholm.
Big Chiz.
Big
Hov.
Chiz.
Big
Shirley Chisholm, the queen, okay?
Big
the
Lily.
Rose of Brooklyn.
So I realize that this is a rough road, but a catalyst for change in a society is usually persona non grata with those who have been the beneficiaries of the system. A catalyst for change has to be able to withstand the insults, the humiliations, the abuses, and the slurs.
I still can't believe Shirley Chisholm's fucking name escaped my mind.
Yeah.
In the middle, game shows are evil. I tell you.
Oh, down to the at Jared and
Jared
Trevel's
and Trevel's, yes, down.
You had to pass the building, her name on it when you went to the thing.
Yeah, well, I shouldn't have
multiple
eaten the edible
times
just before I went on the stage. That's not good.
They named the state park after her, which is the largest park in
It's
New
probably
York
called the
State.
Shirley Chisholm stage. If I
It is.
No, we're not talking about where we were.
It probably is.
That's what I said. That's what I'm like. I was disgusted with myself. But you remember Project Pat? What the hell? Anyway,
yeah.
Continue. Big Chizzy.
But yeah, Big Chiz, first black woman congressperson.
Caribbean queen.
Yes.
Yep.
Of Caribbean descent
Yep.
as well.
Yep.
Fought for equality for not only black women on the Hill, but just women on the Hill.
Did. A true feminist, unlike you bitches.
Yeah. First black woman, black person, I believe, to run for president.
Yep.
Yep. In the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You know, also Regina King does an amazing job at playing her in this Netflix film.
Yes.
I was going, at first I was like, because, you know, Shirley Chisholm is a very Caribbean woman and has an accent, but so far it worked for me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And I was like, I'm okay, Regina, you got this.
But I do, and I love
see.
Regina. You know, I see it for Regina, but I do really want us to lean into hiring actual Caribbean actors and actresses because there's many talented ones, especially when we're trying to depict accents. Because there's too many talented people for y'all to be picking these people who do decent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to take it all.
I agree. But yeah, Shirley Chisholm, Queen of the Rose of Brooklyn.
Yes. And flowers always deserved. Always deserved.
Yes.
All right. I toyed with this, you know, because XD and I are childish and you know, teeter the line of being problematic, but never in like the full jump into the ocean way, I don't think.
No, because if that was the case, we'd be on the Joe Budden Network.
Ding. So, I toyed with this, but I said, you know what? No, give this girl her flowers. And I'm talking about the Black Maori twin. Now, Tia.
Hi guys, what's up? Tia Mori here. So, I am really excited to introduce my YouTube channel, Tia Mori's Quick Fix. We all have those little dilemmas in life that could use a fast and quick solution.
Now, I know Tia has been on the internet getting on our nerves post her divorce. You know what I'm saying? And I get it, you know. Like, mama is in an era of life, you know, she was tied up young, you know, and for a long time, you know, and her family was her everything, her whole world, you know, and still is. But now she's like, you know, finding her puss, and I love that for her. You know, she just getting on our nerves while she doing it, and that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a cousin you
eliminating isn't always pretty.
No, and that's all. You know, and we can actually say that, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you hating on a person. It just means like, oh, I saw you found your pussy, girl, but you're working my nerves right now.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna give Tia Mowry her flowers. You know why? Because you don't see a lot of people who go from lead role to lead role to, you know, having multiple successful projects. I've got to say, I never watched the show her sister was on, not trying to pit the girls against one another, but I never watched The Nurse, whatever the fuck. But Tia went from sister, to The Game, which was a very Black famous show. You know what I'm saying? Girl Melanie is a name that we all know. Even if you didn't tune in regularly, you know Med School, you know Girl Melanie. And then you have to give it to the both of them now. I had Twitches. They had two very successful Disney movies that the children of today, including Gen Alpha, including my own, still tune into around Halloween time.
Twitches was a film.
Go Twitches. Go Twitches. I have seen Twitches more than I care to admit because I have a child who wants to watch it every season. But I gotta give those ladies, I guess, but specifically Tia for that crossover and going from one role to another, because a lot of people have a hard time leaving childhood and teenage roles and being able to do something else because they're always put into a very specific box. So I want to give her flowers because that's not something that's always easily accomplished.
I agree. I used to faithfully watch her cooking show when it was on the Food Network or the Cooking Channel. One of those. It's the same show network to me. But I love the fact that she was honest why she quit. She was like, I quit because I was gaining weight. I was eating all the time.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, she didn't make the healthiest of food, but I don't give a fuck.
Mama
it
made
delicious.
chicken parmesan on a stick. So I just can't.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
and also shout out to her for, even and her sister, like with teen or children actors and stuff, you could go like Quiet on the Set. It could go many ways.
Yes.
And so, and shout out to, them for staying on the relatively straight and narrow.
Yeah. Because that other one in those
the
personal relationship choices. But they do have a Black Caribbean mother.
Yes.
So, I feel like that's been quite helpful in their lives. But I'm gonna give her, and then on top of that, you got to give her. She had a recent role in that terrible Netflix show that my child likes.
Oh yeah, the one with Loretta Devine.
Yeah,
Family Affair
Yes,
Reunion.
Madea, that has the aggressively biracial girl named Jade. Yes.
And the cute gay that does UPS, or is that the one on the Upshaws? Netflix shows all run together to me.
But the Black children of today love them, and even though they're terrible to us as adults, like I said, my father said at the time, Family Matters is an awful show, and we as adults now we can say that.
Yeah.
We have moments.
We were all standing Urkel and shit. Even when you look back, and I'm like, God damn, this was hot garbage.
Now, I shout out to Waldo Geraldo Faldo because I love him. Okay.
Yeah.
It was not good, and this show on Netflix is not good. But also, the kids love it, and Tia continues to work. So, flowers are deserved.
Yeah. I have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 people left.
I have too many, so it's fine.
Okay. So I'm going to go with well, we talked about Erica Alexander briefly. So, but yes. Her flowers too. But I'm going to move on and talk about the other Black woman who did not look ashy back in the Gap due to makeup choices. This is the first Black woman on the cover of American Vogue, and who has set our aunties straight with her wig line for the last 20 years.
Yes.
Miss Beverly Johnson.
Okay.
Quiet on set. Hi, Vogue. I'm Beverly Johnson. And I'm here today to talk about my first American Vogue cover. If you don't know why that is significant, I was the first African American to grace the cover in 1974.
Okay.
Still a baddie.
And if this is not really a reason to get flowers, but kind of yes. Beverly was also the one woman, which this is very problematic, which is why. But she was the one woman who was able to get some of these wayward niggas convinced that Bill Cosby was a nasty individual.
Yes. She has been in the papers telling it for decades that Cosby was gross and needed, to be handled accordingly. But of course, nobody listened because black women.
Right. Then all the white women said it, and then they was like, they lying because he's going to buy NBC. And then Beverly Johnson came through and said, actually, I've been talking about this. It's resurfacing. And all of a sudden, a bunch of niggas who thought he was about to buy NBC. I mean, and granted, that's still kept on with, because wayward niggas they're like roaches. They don't stop being born. See the word wayward. Thank you. But, they still had them. But there was a bit of them that turned and were like, okay, she's not lying. So.
No. No, not at all. Yeah. But yes, Beverly Johnson the wig line has been a staple just as much as Fashion Fair.
Truth be told.
Like, she gets you the ultimate black woman combo of 1994 was Fashion Fair makeup, a Beverly Johnson wig, and 2 splashes of either Elizabeth Taylor's Passion or White Diamonds. Or if you're really with it, Elizabeth Arden's Red Door.
Not for me, but yes, if that is
all while being bathed in Jean Naté.
Because I'm always talking about Jean Naté. Jean Naté.
I was like, Jean Nate. Okay.
One day I want us to do an exploration because I saw a video the other day about the names of men's masculine people's scents on, like from Old Spice and stuff like Axe and all that versus feminine presenting scents.
Delta Work had a rant about that. So she was like, why the fuck do I want to smell like driftwood?
They were like, what is Cool Rush? Y'all got Vanilla Bean. What is Cool Rush smell like?
Like, everything sounds like a verb.
So I want us to really dig into this. I want to look at the actual scents and see what we find. All right. So I want to shout out two people from a black staple that we all know and love, A Different World. Recently they've been doing the HBCU tour. I love that they are getting their flowers in this way because the girlies are going up and as they should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would be standing my life down. But let me tell you 2 people from that cast who continue to work. And that is Miss Cree Summer. Okay, who is also a phenomenal mother and raising 2 fabulous black babies. And I love that she's allowing them to explore them, like be themselves. They can be the all black girls, but they're also very black. Love her.
She's exactly who she was on. She's Freddie.
She is herself. She is herself, and she is authentically herself, and has always stayed so. And I love it. And Mama does not stop working. She is doing voiceover work out the ass. You can go look up the creds. To this day, she is constantly voicing very iconic voices in animation on top of, her role as Freddie. And then Kadeem Hardison. Because let me tell you something. Your queen, deservedly so. One of the few biracials that we love and has not said anything existentially biracial, Miss Zendaya. Kadeem Hardison played her daddy on KC Undercover. He has been working for years and years and years and continues to have got a staple Disney role later on, which also doesn't always happen. And so I want to give him his flowers, as well as, I should have pulled her name up, but the mother on KC Undercover, because she used to be Eddie Winslow's girlfriend on Family Matters. And Mama also continues to work. Wait, let me look up the mother from KC.
Coming this January, meet the ultimate spy, a counterintelligence specialist who can handle any mission, except when her little brother gets in the way.
Roz Ryan was on Casey Undercover too, right? Because I remember Jasmine Guy. Because I'll never forget.
Yes, she was on there. Yes,
Jasmine Guy was on there, and they had like a moment. They recalled their moment from
because she was because remember they're spies, so she was part of like the evil side, and then yes, they had their little like face off.
Yeah. Roz Ryan was on that show from Amen.
Tammy Townsend. Townsend plays Zendaya's mother on Casey Undercover, and she has also been working. She's been working for years and years and years. So I want to give them their flowers.
Yes. Kadeem Hardison is one of the first celebrities encounters that I've had that were pleasant.
I believe that.
That's when I was like, I went viral on YouTube once, and he friended me on Facebook. At first, I thought it was fake, but it's really him, and he sent me a message.
I love that.
About like 15 years ago now. But yeah, he sent me a message, and ever since then, I was like, oh well.
I love that.
That was nice.
I love a good positive moment in that way.
Yeah. My second to last one is Claudette Colvin.
That day when the bus driver asked me to get up, I had this feeling come over me. It felt like Harriet Tubman was holding me down. Hands were holding me down on one shoulder, and Sojourner Truth hands were holding me down on another shoulder. And I was glued to the seat.
A lot of people don't know who she is, but Claudette Colvin was the Rosa Parks before Rosa Parks.
Yep.
She refused to give up her seat at age 15 in the front of the bus, and which caused the staged setup with Rosa Parks. And Claudette Colvin was also used as a witness in, and when they did the lawsuit against the Montgomery bus system. So, there's a lot of unsung heroes in Black history, and I feel like Claudette Colvin is somebody that we should celebrate. Absolutely.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. Noah and I had a conversation about Claudette a couple years ago, because I was like, listen, I need you to understand that it goes beyond the Rosa Parks and the Martin Luther Kings and the people's names that you hear all the time. Like, let's get into the shit. So yes, that was good. That was a good one. Who's my second to last one? I think I'm just gonna do one more because we've been going for a while.
Okay.
I'm going to give this lady her flowers because she has also appeared on multiple generations of television. She has also birthed multiple generations of television. And that would be Miss Chip Fields.
Yes!
In my reflection, I cannot see what kind of person is inside of me.
Mother of Regine, aka Kim Fields. Mother of oh Lord, what's the other one's name? Alexis Fields. Alexis was of a specific generation, playing on Sister Sister and so forth. Moesha, Kim Fields. We've already gone through the trajectory of Kim Fields, but I think we need to really do a good deep dive, because she's also been working for some time.
She also was Penny's mama on Good Times.
She was Penny's mama on Good Times. Chip has had her own career before she birthed careers, people who had their own careers, and I want to give her flowers for her own career and for what she was able to produce after that. Okay, the original Tina Knowles,
and she's still working. She's still directing television
to this day.
Currently,
to this day,
yeah.
Did you see the recent video a couple months ago of her, of Chip, Kim, and Alexis?
Yeah,
that was
like,
so cute.
That
was so cute. But yeah, Chip Fields is my last. I think she's gonna be the last one on my list for today.
Then my last one is a great way to put a stamp on this.
All right.
I want to give flowers to Willie McCoy. Not to Willie McKay, the preacher person that we talked about before, but the late William Willie McCoy.
Thank you, Willie, for the baby back rib. And I don't know about nobody else, but I want my baby back rib.
He is a jazz musician, blues singer who gave us one of the most iconic, memorable jingles of all time.
Okay.
He birthed, and at his funeral, he died pretty early, but they gave him an amazing send-off. He gave us the I Want My Baby Back jingle from Chili's. And they buried him in a rib casket.
Now, a rib or a McRib? Let me look at this.
A rib.
What's his name? Willie McCoy?
Yes. There was an episode of Extreme Burials or Extreme Funerals on TLC, and he was the first episode. And they gave him a proper send-off with barbecue sauce and ribs.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Nigga, this is not a rib casket. This is a smoker casket.
Yes, that's what I meant. Yes, a smoker casket, yes.
Wait, and these pallbearers with these...
Yeah.
With their chef toques on.
Yeah. It's a whole episode. The whole episode.
Wait, what is this show called? You know I love this
It's like
shit.
Extreme Burial, something like that. Yeah, it was on TLC. Because I'll never forget it, because I was watching and I was like, yeah. So yeah, that was
a proper send off and a proper send off.
Yeah.
Thank you all for listening to another episode of Jaden XD. We're gonna have to do a part 2 to this because I've got more names on the list, and I know XD's got a number of other random unsung icons throughout history as well. And so we're gonna have to bring this bike and bring it back soon. You all are not going to fail to tell us who we forgot. So we can't wait to see your additions to the Give Them Their Flowers list.
Yes.
And make sure you tune into the Patreon, check out the YouTube, do all things to support JNXD if you got the means. If you don't got the means, like I said, hit the YouTube. But if you got $9.99 a month, I promise you will not regret it.
Yes.
Until next time.
And remember,
yes,
and remember, you can do all things through Latifah that strengthens you.
Amen. Ashe.
Bye.
Yes, we're moving on.